Hello, Payne is an award-winning Cisco partner with strong expertise across multiple domains. Payne leverages its FitPass platform to provide users and partners dozens of hands-on labs without the need for a real kit on-prem. Let's begin by giving you a quick overview of what you will learn about using variables and data types in Python. So in the basics of Python, what we're really going to look at is how we use variables and the different data types that you can see here. It would be strings, numbers, Boolean, lists, and functions within lists being pop, append, insert, and the final one would be dictionaries. So let's go ahead and use the first option out of the two options for executing a Python script. So the first option being dynamic interpreter. So this is our interpreter. The way to enter the interpreter is simply type Python, and you also see here the Python version that you're using. If you want to exit it, is as simple as that. Let's enter into Python. Now we're going to discuss how data types work. There are various data types available in Python. So some of them we're going to explore, as you saw on a previous slide, was strings, numbers, Boolean, lists, and dictionaries. Strings is any data that we're storing inside of a variable. All of these are strings, which could be set of characters within a single or double quotes. For that matter, even the special characters within quotes becomes a string. Now, if you want to check what kind of data is available within the variable, we simply can use a helper utility in Python, which is called as type, right? So previously we have typed name, right? So let's see what that says. It says it's string. So now let's look at how you can assign a value stored in a variable into another variable. So let's give name as equal to English instructor is equal to name. So just go ahead and print instructor. It says Ankush. So now let's look at how we can manipulate with the data that is stored inside of a variable that is nothing but strings using built-in methods. Now you see that the name Ankush is all in lowercase. Now if we wish to print the name all in uppercase, the simple thing what we could do is print name dot upper and you should see it in uppercase. But what you need to keep in mind is that the value that is stored within the variable is unchanged. It is just the print command. The output is in uppercase, right? Similarly, for converting from uppercase to lowercase, let's look at an example wherein we take entry So it's all in uppercase. We want to make this into lowercase. So just print country dot lower, and you see it here. Again, the original value is not changed. Let's look at another built-in function, which is replace. Now, supposedly I have an IP is equal to n.2.3.4. Just say print IP. It's 10.3.4. What we want to achieve is we want to replace the period sign with a hyphen, right? So with just the output changing, so we go print IP dot replace in quotes. We mention what we want to replace with the value that we want to replace. So you see that the period sign has been replaced with the colon. But again here also, it's the same thing. The original value stored in the variable remains the same. So if I go ahead and say print just IP, the original value is still intact. Now let's look into a different built-in function that we're going to use extensively going forward, is format. Before we start that, we need to understand that strings are immutable in nature, meaning we cannot change individual characters of a string. So as an example, we take name is equal to so here the output is Ankush, and we cannot change the output, meaning replace A with Z, since strings are immutable in nature. You might have to redefine the entire string in order to bring that change. So let's take an example and see how we go about it. So we give an IP is equal to 1.2.3.5, right? Then just say print IP. Prints the IP for you. Optionally, there's another way that we could do it. We want to go ahead and format it, right? So one way of doing it is say 10.2.3. Curly brackets, which mentions that we wish to have another value in it. Okay. So now if I say print IP, gives you that value. So now if I wish to add a value into it, that is ip.format, and just put in 254. You see that it has been formatted and you've got the output. However, the original value in the variable is the same. You could do it for multiple locations in your IP as well, which could be, say, IP is equal to 10 dot with a bracket dot 5 dot with a bracket. There you go. And then print IP dot format. So put in the value that you want to be in the second octet. Close it, separate it, then the value that you want in the fourth octet, and close the braces. So you see that the values have been added the way we wish to have it. So what we've seen so far is the built-in functions, which is your uppercase, lowercase, replace, and format. We do have a lot of more functions, but these are the ones we are going to use extensively for the rest of the videos. Data types numbers is very simple, where you just give age is equal to 253. So print age 253. Now if I want to know what's the data type, it says it's an integer because it has not been put between the braces, right? And there are other mathematical functions that you can perform. Let's do into 6 gives you 12, 2 plus 8, 10, right? So this is the data type numbers. Now let's look at Boolean. It is all about true or false. In programming, a Boolean is a binary variable, either representing true or false. You can perform different functions using operators like AND, NOT, OR. So let's look at the AND function first. True and true gives you true. True and false gives you false. True or false returns true. False or true is true. The not function would be not true not true, not false would be true. So what we've covered is the various data types. And now that we've covered the basics of Python, stay tuned for more videos to follow. If you are interested in how BitPass can help you and your team learn about Python or one of the many SD-WAN labs within BitPass, please reach out to your Bay Infotech representative. Thank you.